Welcome to this gentle yoga practice with a focus on hips, hamstrings, and low back. So for this practice, you will need a few props. Optional is a pillow and a blanket to lay down on. And you will also need a strap or belt or towel. So to set up the blanket, what I like to do is just fold the blanket so there's a little bit of height but not too much, and lay back on that so it's along the spine, so a very gentle heart opening. And I like to place a pillow underneath my head just for added comfort. Do whatever works for you and feel free to pause this video until you're comfortable. When you're ready, bring the strap around your right foot and extend the right leg up towards the ceiling. Relax the arms and the shoulders and let that right leg be as bent as you need it to be. Even if the leg is straight, have a little softness in that knee so the knee doesn't lock. Allow the breath to be nice and relaxed, as well as the stretch. There's nothing to push or force here. This is a great way to stretch the hamstring without pulling the low back. Now you can stay right here, or if you'd like, start to make little circles, little slow circles with that right leg. Imagine you have a cup of water on the sole of your foot and you're trying not to spill that water. Switch the direction of your circle and just notice how this feels. No judgment around it, just checking in. Now hold both ends of the strap in the right hand and feel both hips and both shoulders evenly root to the floor. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, begin to open that right leg out to the right side, but make sure the left side of the body is not lifting off of the floor. Inhale, bring the leg back to center. And exhale, cross the right leg over the body, again without lifting now the right side. So those four corners of the body stay pressed to the floor. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let the right leg open out to the right. Inhale to center. And exhale that little cross. So just stretching the outside of the hip there, not moving into a twist. Beautiful. So take another round on the breath. Make sure to keep the body evenly planted. And then you can stay with this rhythm, or the next time you open the leg out to the right side, pause there and take a couple breaths. Breathing into the inner thigh, the groin, the hips. And then with your next inhale, bring the leg back to center, and exhale that little cross, and again pause. A great release for the outside of the hip and the low back. Inhale that leg back to center. We're going to come back into that circle. This time you can let that circle widen out, even stretching that left leg out on the floor. If the leg has had enough of being straight in the strap, you can release the foot from the strap, bend the knee, and circle the leg, holding on to the bent knee. Switch the direction of your circle. This is such an amazing movement to keep the hip joint itself strong and healthy. Now inhale that leg back to center and take another moment just to stretch out that hamstring. Give it another little bit of love. And then release the strap from the foot. You can give that right knee a nice hug in towards the chest. As you exhale, maybe hugging that knee in a little bit more. And then stretch both legs out on the floor and just notice if you feel a difference from one side to the other. And then we'll move to the other side. So bring the right foot to the floor. Bring the left foot into the strap and gently extend the left leg towards the ceiling. Now maybe it's because we just spend so much time on the first leg. The second leg to me always feels like it's extra tight. So if you notice that, let it go. Don't judge it. Same thing as the first side. Breathe sweetly with this stretch. Let the breath, let gravity do the work. And then coming into those little circles, again, imagine there's a cup of water on the sole of your foot. So you want to move that leg slow and smooth enough to not spill that water. And then change directions. Notice if this leg feels different than the first one. Stay steady with the breath. And again, keep that left knee soft. Very nice. On your next inhale, bring the leg back to center, hold the strap in the left hand, and exhale, let the leg fall out to the left. Again, keep the right side of the body planted to the floor. Inhale the left leg to center, and exhale that little cross, keeping the left side of the body on the floor. Inhale to center. So again, same thing. We'll take a few rounds following the breath. Again, perhaps notice if this side feels different than the first. Honor that you have two different hips with two different sets of needs. Very nice. We'll take one more round with the breath. And then if you choose, the next time the leg opens out to the left, pause there. Again, nice full breaths. Maybe wiggle the toes. Inhale the leg to center, and then exhale that little cross. And pause. Really reach through the sole of the foot as you press that left hip down towards the floor. And then inhale the leg back to center. If you want, stretch the right leg out on the floor and come back into those circles. So again, you can really widen these circles out, fling that cup of water across the room, or you can keep those small, intimate circles. Again, you can do this with a bent knee without the strap if you prefer. Circle in the other direction. Noticing once again any differences on this side or even this direction. Notice if any tension has crept into the jaw and the face and let it go. On your next inhale, bring the leg back to center. Exhale, let it relax into that hamstring stretch just a little bit more. And then with your next breath, you can bend the knee, remove the strap. Once again, give that knee a little hug, little squeeze in. And then stretch both legs out on the floor, noticing any difference between the sides. Hopefully you feel a little bit more even at this point. Now you can bring the feet back to the floor and kind of rock the knees a little side to side. Again, just to even out the hips and add a very gentle twist for the spine. You can even pause on one side and take a couple breaths and then move to the other. To finish off our practice, we'll move into reclined bound angle. So the soles of the feet come together and the knees open out to the side. I prefer to come into the supported version with blocks or cushions under the knees. While that makes the stretch feel less intense, it actually allows the muscles of the hips and the low back to release on a much deeper level. Allow the whole body to feel really comfortable here and settle in. Focus on your breath, and you can move into maybe the Dirga or Ujjayi pranayama, any other breathing practices that you enjoy. This is a really great pose to know, especially if you sit a lot at a desk in front of a computer. This posture helps to release the low back and the hips. So bring your attention to the hips, to the pelvic bowl, and just invite any tension there to soften. Any holding that doesn't need to be there, let that release. If you have time, I really invite you to stay here, continue to practice focusing on the breath. But if you need to, bring the knees towards each other. You can rock the legs side to side, again, just to even things out. Move the blocks out of the way. And then you can hug both knees in towards the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Roll over to one side and use the arms to press yourself up to sit. When you're there, bring the palms together. Thank yourself for taking time to practice, and I'll see you later. Namaste.